On this edition of Check 6 Aviation, we're covering more RV-10 building action from Van's Aircraft. Coming up. Welcome back to Check 6 Aviation, my friend. It is always a pleasure to be here with you. We are actually smack dab in the middle. Well, I don't know if we're smack dab in the middle, but we're definitely in progress for building the tail cone on the Van's Aircraft RV-10. We are in, so we've just completed sections. We're still in the process of section 9, building the elevators. We're waiting on parts to come in as we speak, as I speak really. But we're actually building on while we're waiting and going on with the tail cone, making this project look like an actual airplane. Woohoo! So we are section 10. We are covering. We just got past section page 10-5. We're right at the end of page 10-6 now, and we're doing the Longerons, which are a structural piece. Perhaps one of the very first structural piece to be accomplished, to be worked with in the tail cone, because you've got skins, but if there's nothing for the skins to attach to, then the whole assembly, the whole structure just falls apart. It is absolutely worthless. Nothing. Well, it's not worthless, but you get the idea. The Longerons run the length of the airframe and provide rivet points for the skins to attach to. They also attach the skin provide attachment points to the bulkheads, which are basically these. This is actually, well, this is at the very back of the plane, but yeah, you get the idea. So we are completing 10-6, and we're going into 10-7, where we attach the first pieces to, it's the first time that this is actually looking like an airplane. So, yes. So without further ado, let's get to it. Well, we're back at it, folks. We're finishing up some of the deburring that didn't get to in the last video because, well, the last video ran a little bit longer than I really wanted it to. So here we are. We are working with the, what is it? Let me see here. It is the, I've got the plans open here, but anyway, I know that they go on to the, they are the bell crank ribs that go into the bottom of the skin, the pan, basically, that all of the initial bulkheads, all of the bulkheads attached to, goes on the, basically it's the bottom of the airplane and the tail section. And so we're going ahead and making sure that all those holes are chamfered. And here we are working with the Longerons that go on top. The plans do say on 10-6 to drill a hole, basically, and you see me marking a line and figuring out where that line goes. And yeah, this is the first time I'm so happy at this point because I get to move the skins out of the way of my feet. I'm not stepping on them all the time. But yeah, you basically do put it, mark the line, put it in a vise, and at this point I didn't have my vise jaws. So yeah, but you preload, and then you just give the metal a few whacks. But basically you preload it by pushing on the longer edge of it, and as you can see, it was
The vise was not cooperating all that well, but it was still cooperating for at least a portion of it. I did have to take the other Longeron over to the EAA hangar here in town and use a friend's vise because, well, I just didn't have the space. But I figured out that, hey, wait a minute, it can go either way. I can either bang it going towards the wall, or I can bang it going towards the floor. But here we are. This is where I figure out that I'm actually going to have to move this project outside because, this project is getting to be way bigger than I had initially planned. 10-7 is where we are right now, and we are temporarily fastening the the first few bulkheads to the the forward bottom skin, and it does say the plans do say to put it on a couple of sawhorses, so I brought a couple of them in here, and then flip it over and use the 1047G and 1047F. And there's a left and a right to the 1047Fs. So moved it outside, and I figured at this point, instead of trying to do it upside down, I could just do it the way it would go, initially or eventually, because it's going to go right side up, and just slide in the Longeron, the skin stiffeners where they would go. There are the bell crank, the bell crank ribs going in. Quick check of the plans. Another flip. Doing some match drilling there. Even though these are final size holes, that was necessary to kind of get everything in alignment. Plus, at the points where I was drilling, that is where the skin stiffeners, the bottom skin stiffeners go into the skin. And then here comes 1047 E through F, I believe. Let's see. E, C, and D, rather. The first skin goes on, and this is where the drawing of the line on the skin stiffeners comes into play here in a little bit. I have heard reports of some builders having trouble with the skin, the curvature of the skin not lining up. Actually, what it was for me, it was a misunderstanding of where the skin was supposed to go to. See how there is, I was trying, the holes weren't lining up on this until I went ahead and said, hey, wait a minute, maybe I'm the problem here, and I'm not just understanding the way it should go. Now, I did skip a step here, and I will go back and correct it. I did not install the rear underskin for the tail, the extreme rear of the tail cone, at least not yet. I just wanted to go ahead and get the skin stiffeners in there and start doing some match drilling. So that is what I'm doing here. Of course, I wanted to do the very first hole in on the skin for the skin stiffeners, because that will determine how far back the rest of the clecos go. This was kind of a hotter day in July, but I figured it was I'd brave the temperatures. And let me tell you, in July, wearing black is probably not the smartest idea that I've had. Now, the way I was doing this was I was actually drilling them on the plane like the plans say, but I got a little creative, maybe a little lazy, and went ahead and just took a Sharpie and marked where the holes should be. There's benefits to both ways. One, you have by marking it with a Sharpie, you can pre-drill the holes, but the downside to that is that you'll have to go back and match drill. Whereas if you do it this way, one drill bit, one drill and you're done, and you pray that you have everything where it's supposed to be. Did one side. All the drilling on one side was done, then turned the plane around and did it on the other side. Doing it the way I'm doing it here, though, the drill holes were not completely on the line, at least not on every one of them. So there's that. Will it be all right? Well, let me just quote Jimmy's World. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Should you decide that you want to tackle a project of this scale and build an airplane yourself, well, Van's Aircraft is literally quite like the IKEA version of airplane building. It's literally, if you can follow IKEA directions in building furniture, you can do this. So it's literally take part number 1 and do XYZ to it, and then put it in, attach it to part 2. So if you decide that is, or when you decide to do that, then fill out the referral form when you get your tail kit and put in my builder number 42282. The number is also in the description of this video and all of my videos. And Vans will send me $100 as a thank you, and it doesn't cost you a thing, and you get to support the channel because proceeds do go for the project costs. So after all that was done, I decided that it was time to kind of get to priming, so I went ahead and started priming and went to town on everything. But there's still a few things that I have left to do, like the 2 middle bulkheads, and also I'm doing the J-channel stiffeners one at a time so I don't get them confused with each other, because they are A, B, C, D, and F, or something like that, left and right. So yeah, there's that. But that's going to do it for this video, folks. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone. Like I said, if you haven't, or if you're planning on building a Vans Aircraft RV-10, use my builder number below. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and also give us a like and comment below here on YouTube. It does help the channel immensely. It tells the YouTube algorithm to extend the reach of these videos. So until next time, remember this time, and always check your 6. Bye-bye.